under no circumstances should the state of Florida be subsidizing woke activism by allowing them to have their own government. So we took it away.
Ron DeSantis has escalated his attack on Disney. And to me, it sounds like a wild abuse of power, but you're going to have to tell me what you think. Welcome into TYT Overruled. I am your host, Adrienne Lawrence. The DeSantis-Disney feud is far from over as Florida's governor announced that he's now looking into taxing Disney hotels and constructing toll roads along the perimeter of Disney World. This comes in the wake of Disney pulling a fast one on DeSantis that divested his newly appointed board of the control that they'd have of the area that the theme park sits on, per Politico. The DeSantis administration is also examining if a recent agreement approved between a Central Florida board that had been controlled by Disney and the company runs afoul of the state's growth laws, according to senior administration officials. One of those laws explicitly states that development agreements must be modified or revoked to comply with laws, even if the law is passed after the agreement was executed. DeSantis was particularly salty about Disney's backroom board deal that cut out his new appointees in the power grab. Here's what the Florida fascist in chief had to say during an evening appearance at a conservative liberal arts college in Michigan.
The legislature is going to avoid anything Disney did on the way out the door. But now that Disney has reopened this issue, we're not just going to avoid the development agreement they tried to do. We're going to look at things like taxes on the hotels. We're going to look at things like tolls on the roads. We're going to look at things like developing some of the property that the district owns. And so at the end of the day, I think what Disney has tried to do is they've tried to say that they should be able to operate outside the context of our constitutional system in Florida. No, we took this action prior to the election. We won overwhelmingly. They are not superior to the people of Florida.
In addition to trying to void the development agreement, as suggested here, DeSantis is looking into developing the property it owns adjacent to Disney. Now, the mouse isn't going down easy, though. Disney CEO Bob Iger had this to say to his shareholders.
And so our point on this is that any action that thwarts those efforts, simply to retaliate for a position the company took, sounds not just anti-business, but it sounds anti-Florida.
DeSantis thought he could get the upper hand on Disney by taking away,
saying that they plan to invest $17 billion in the state of Florida. That should generate 13,000 jobs, according to Bob Iger. But this should also mean more visitors to the state of Florida, which means, of course, more money for the state of Florida.
His state's resources in hopes of swiping back at a business that brings big business to Florida and plans to do a lot of business in the coming years.
Saying that they plan to invest $17 billion in the state of Florida. That should generate 13,000 jobs, according to Bob Iger. But this should also mean more visitors to the state of Florida, which means, of course, more money for the state of Florida.
So how much longer do you think that this feud is going to go on? Who do you think is going to tap out first, DeSantis or Disney? You let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like and follow button, and thanks for watching.